Hello guys, this is Aramchan. Welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this video, it's primarily because of two reasons. You are either looking for your first job, or you want to make a career change, or you in general want to improve your LinkedIn profile and just make it more presentable. Now, me myself, I've spent nearly 2 years in the US. I live in Boston from a master's degree. I'm a graduate now, part of class of 2020. And then when I hit the market, I was like, US is doing the lowest unemployment numbers ever. It's the best time to get a job. And then I see the next thing. Millions of Americans are losing their jobs because of the pandemic. Now, the uncertainty hit right in the face. It was never expected. Nobody could have ever seen this situation. But all I kept doing was that, just going with it. Um, the class of 2020 is special, guys. We guys are special in a way. We are dealing with something which we were never taught in any of our master's courses. And I think it's the learning curve which we are building on. I believe that we are part of history, or we are making history right now, in a way that right now when we study about financial crisis and the way it was dealt with, and I think that is something which will be kept on taught for the next generations to come. I think similarly, the virus, the impact which it made, and it has, and it will be taught in the future as well. So I think we're in the process of making history, and we are. Now, talking about myself, I thought, you know what, I graduate, and by the time I graduate, I'll have a job. I go back to India, see my family, come back and start working. Nothing worked out. It was the pandemic which hit really hard. Now, I don't come from a big university, guys, but I know my potential as well. So I'm not posting about it, but everybody has a self conscience. Like they know how much they can get, and it was really hard initially. You've received a lot of rejections. When you see the Americans are not able to get a job as an international student, it makes it really hard for you to get one. But at the same time, I think all you have to do is just keep going, just deal with the uncertainty. It can get depressing at some point in time, but I think it's just the sheer hard work which really turns out well. And I have to say that there are so many things which are in between, and I think as an international student and people who are watching it right now, it will be really helpful if I share those things. Now, those things are pretty basic things, but it's just that when you add too many basic things, the output is really good. So I guess that in this series of videos, I'll be sharing some of those details with you guys. Um, you don't have to pay anything for it. All you have to do is probably just subscribe the button down. You pay for your Amazon Prime or Netflix subscription, but in this one, you just have to hit the button down, and you get some mutual benefit, guys. It will just help me to share the content with you guys, and at the same time, it will help both of us actually to grow together. Hit the like button if you really like the video. If you want to have some suggestions or some recommendations for me, I'm pretty much open to that. And yep, in this LinkedIn series, my main goal is to help you guys improve your LinkedIn profile. And yep, let's get into it. So guys, I won't talk much about the significance of LinkedIn. It is the most trusted source or platform where the employers actually get your information about yourself, your skills, and it's really a good way to expand your network as well. But just to state a fact, about 95% of the recruiters actually find the right candidate through LinkedIn. Um, so you know how important LinkedIn is. But at the same time, we spend so much hours on social media, be it Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, just Instagram. There's just so many things, but do you really spend that much time on LinkedIn? Just ask yourself, and you know the answer for it. I never spent that much time on LinkedIn. The time I spend these days, or I think I've just made a habit of spending more time on LinkedIn, I guess. And I think it's really important when you're actually trying to look for a job, and it's not even looking for a job. It should be something in general. It's important to stay updated what's going on, and at the same time, it's important that you make yourself a saleable commodity on LinkedIn, that people want to work with you, and just make sure that your LinkedIn profile is really, really good. And there are some basic things which you have to make sure to make your LinkedIn profile stand out from the other candidates, and In this part of the video, I'm going to talk about the 4 basic things which actually make the first impression about you whenever someone sees your LinkedIn profile. And as I say, that first impression is the last impression. So there are four elements which I will talk about in this video itself. And I think if you get that aspect right, it's a good start for making your LinkedIn profile really impressive. And yeah, so just don't forget to hit the subscribe button, guys. You don't have to pay for it. Just click the red button. Don't hit the bell icon if you don't want to be bored with my videos. But hit the subscribe button. It's just a mutual benefit. Like the video if you like it. And the 4 elements which I'm going to talk about in this video. So those 4 elements are primarily your image with the photo which you have, your profile image, the main image you have, the background image you have, the summary you put in, and the header or the title which you put in. Now the title and the header is the most important part of all the 4 elements. I mean, all 4 are important, but I would say the title and the header are really important. And the reason for that is you have to wait till the end of the video, because I will tell you why it's the most important part of what you put in as your title or the header. So yeah, let's start with the first element of the photo itself. Alright guys, so the first element is the photo or the image, your profile image. We all are very conscious of the image we have on our social media platforms like Instagram, for example. But I've seen so many people, including some of my friends, who are really talented, but they just don't have a profile image. Guys, LinkedIn is like Instagram for the employers. They search for a position and then they see a number of people out there. Now imagine if you're searching someone on Instagram for a particular name, and then you see there's a list of profiles, and then you see there's a profile with no image on it. Are you ever going to open that? Hell no, I don't care about it. Similarly, employers just type in the position and then they scroll down the number of profiles they see, and if you have no image on it, you really have no chance. I mean, you are just out of the race itself before even the race started. So you have no chance at all. The employers are not even going to open your profile and see what you have done, what are your achievements. It just shows your laid back attitude that you're not just paying much attention to your profile. So it's really important to have a profile image. Another thing which is you have to take care is that it's important to have a decent image, guys. Now, how much cliche it might sound, it is a fact. You need to have a professional photograph, unless you are Mark Cuban. I don't know if you haven't seen Mark Cuban's photo on LinkedIn, but check that out. It's pretty cool. Or I think I will just show it up in the video somewhere. But anyways, it's important that you dress professionally. It's cliche, but guys, LinkedIn is it's a formal platform. It's between a relation between the employers, employees, the companies. They share their stuff. You have to be presentable. Why do people go out to parties in their fancy dresses? It's always about the first impression, guys. So if you're not even having a good photo out there, you are just not showing yourself a sellable commodity. It's important you sell yourself, guys. It's important that you have a good image. I mean, it's important to have an image first for those who don't have one. And the second thing is I need to have one which is really, really professional. Now, I'm not saying go hire a professional photographer, but at the same time, you need to have someone who's able to take your professional photograph. I've seen people posting photos of their family functions and dinners on LinkedIn. That's fine if you're in modeling or you're into acting. That's completely fine because that's your field of work. So if you have that kind of profile image, that's perfect. But let's say if there's a surgeon who is probably having a good car, fancy car, and if you post an image with that versus a surgeon who is dressed in his attire, who you think is more trusted? I'm not saying who is more successful. It could be the first one who is having a fancy car, but who you think you will trust as a surgeon? Just give it a thought yourself. It's just the perception, guys. It's just the perception. Just think about it. So it's important that you have an image first, and then it's important that you have a decent formal photograph, um, because that's the first step which the employers will look when they're seeing your profile. So if you don't have those, you are just not part of the race. So important that you have those. So the second element, guys, is having a background image. Now, this is not a deal breaker, I would say, but it gives a better presentation overall. And as I said, your profile is all about presentation. Your Facebook profile is a presentation of you. If I see your profile on Instagram or Facebook, I don't know the kind of person you are, but it is the perception which you give me. If you see, if you see the social media influencers, if you see stars, if you see celebrities, they post their cars, they post their houses. It's just the perception which they're giving out. But do you really know the kind of person they are? You don't know. Similarly, it is the perception which you give to the employers about yourself, the kind of person you are, and that is through your profile. So if your profile is pretty neat, it's pretty up to date with your recent activities, and it's completed, it just gives a better perception of you as a person, because no one can know you unless they interact with you. So it's important that you try to fill out all the things of your profile, all the elements which I'm talking about, be the profile image, be the background image you have. And the thing in the background image is, so there's one thing which is really important, is that you need to have one. You don't need to have one, it's not a deal breaker, but at the same time it is important. It just gives a better perception. Another thing is that make sure the color combinations are right. Now, I know one friend of mine who has a really good background image, but it's a background image with the base color as blue because it's of the sky, and his profile image is with the background in yellow. Now, if I look at the individual images, they're pretty good images. The image which he has as profile image and the background image which goes behind. They're pretty good images, nice images, not blurred at all, pretty clean, the HD photos, but they just don't go well with each other. I mean, your photos have to complement, right? So he has a photo of his profile image, which is in yellow background, and then there's a photo behind it with blue background. And the yellow color and blue, they are just not complementing each other. So whenever I open his profile, it is just too much for me to take in. I mean, just think about it. If you have both the elements filled in, but they're not complementing each other, it is just too bright for any person to just see it. So to make sure that the color combinations of both the images are in sync, are in light. For reference, you can see my LinkedIn profile. I will share the link to my profile on the description below. If you want to get connected, you can get connected. Feel free to do so, but just as a reference, I will share my LinkedIn profile down in the description. So just make sure you have the image, and the color combination is the key aspect when you put in the images. Just make sure your profile image and the image which you put in the background, they just go well together with each other. Now let's go to the third element. Alright, so the third element is the summary, guys. So in the LinkedIn profile, you'll see there's a section for summary, which you have to type it by yourself, telling a little bit by yourself. If I have to tell in short, I think this section is primarily the answer of any interview question, the very old traditional question, which is, tell me about yourself. So just make sure that this section is pretty brief. If you look at my profile, I have about 2 paragraphs. Now, I've been told by people that just try to cut it down. Like friends give suggestions to other friends. So some of my friends told me, but I was like, yeah, okay, I get it, but I'm fine with having 2 paragraphs. I mean, it just helps me tell myself a little better to people. Now, it's not even that long if you look at my profile, the link which is down in the description. But if you can cut it down to a para, I guess, a para and a half at max, that's pretty good. You don't have to tell everything about yourself from the very beginning. So, I mean, I can't tell that, I was born and raised in India, and etc., etc. It is primarily what you are doing right now and what you are most interested in, and where do you stand in terms of your career point of view at this point. Um, Never put in that I'm looking for a job in that section, because it just doesn't make you a sellable commodity, as I said. You just probably have to look that I'm passionate about this industry, just sugarcoat it. Don't be fake at it. Don't fake it up, but just sugarcoat it that, I'm interested in this industry, I have this experience. Say whatever you can. Be honest about it, because it really tells you. I mean, at the end of the day, the employer will find that, if you have something written on your summary and it's not right, um, you were just being over smart. So it's important you just you can sugarcoat things, but I guess sugarcoating to a certain extent is fine, guys. Come on, but at the same time, just don't lie, don't be fake. So try to keep a summary short, because the reason for that is that whenever you open a profile, you see a summary which is this much, which is like this section, and then you see an option of see more. Many people don't click see more unless they're really interested in some person. So if I see someone's profile, I'll just probably scroll down, then I see a summary. Oh, I'm passionate about this, having worked outside, lived in the US, or lived in the foreign countries. I've been a certified trainer, etc., etc. Some people put that things, like they put everything about themselves in those 2 to 3 lines, because that is something which is visible without selecting that see more button. So if you make those 2 to 3 lines really impressive, it will leave a good impact on the person who's seeing your profile. Just make sure you have a summary, don't leave that blank out, and at the same time, just make sure you have those 2 to 3 lines really catchy, really impressive. Unless you are like, you know what, I don't care, I'm just going to put two sections, 2 paragraph, I'm just going to write an essay. No one's going to read it, guys. I mean, you can write it, but no one's going to read it. No one has time to see that. So just make sure that it's there and it's eye-catching. And let's get to the final section, which I said there's an important and the most important element. If out of these 4 elements, is the last one, which is more important, and I'll tell you why. Let's get to the fourth one. So, guys, the fourth element and the most important element is the header or the title, which goes right below your profile image. So you put your name there, but you put a couple of things below that as well, right? It's gonna be header or title, whatever it is. Guys, I've seen so many people, so many folks out there who just put in looking for or open for job opportunities. Don't do that, guys. Please don't do that. If you say that you're open for job opportunities, you are missing out on the race. You are just not even a consideration when the employers look for new candidates. Now, I know that's contradictory to, it's contradictory. You're just saying that you're available for job opportunity, but that is not the right place to put that in. You don't put that under your name or under your image. Just imagine, there are 2 people who are looking for jobs. This one has the heading as looking for job opportunities, the same degree. This person, the same degree, has a heading as analyst, associate, whatever. Who do you think I'm going to open the profile? The one who already has that heading, or the one who's looking for job opportunities? Just think about it, guys. It's all about the perception and the kind of image you give yourself to the employer. So it's important you never put looking for job opportunities in that section. There's a different section for it, which is right underneath the edit button. So if you look at that button, you will see that it shows only to recruiters that you're looking for job opportunities and not to everyone else, which ideally should be the situation. So if you're open to work, you can actually put that as a different section in your profile, but never under your name, guys. Don't do that. It's a bummer. It just offsets you. It just puts you in a weak position than the other people out there. That is why I can say that this is the most important element. Adding to this fact, one of my friends, he works in the staffing agency, so he tells me how they hire for the people and how to find the right candidate. Guys, if you put that looking for job opportunities or anything like that, you are just gone. You're just done. I'll tell you why. Now, since I was looking for jobs in the finance field, one of my friends, he showed me the portal from the employer side or the headhunters side. and not from the employee's side, which we usually see. You know what these guys do? They have a separate portal by themselves, and then they search by the roles or by the keywords like financial analyst, finance, accounting, banking, physics, chemistry. They just search by these keywords, and then they search in particular. They put filters like location. I want someone in Boston area. I want someone in New York. I want someone in Washington with this much of experience. And then they click search, and boom, their list of profiles. So imagine if I'm looking for a role as a financial analyst, it's better that I put financial analyst or just one of those keywords or both of them in my heading instead of putting as looking for job opportunities, because that algorithm, it searches out the your profile out of those headings. So if you have that instead of looking for job opportunities, there's a good chance that your profile will come out as a search result instead of just not being appearing at all. So it's important that you put out your. I'm sure you could have seen that if you spend more time on LinkedIn, you'll see people have multiple things. They have something like, for example, I see people have an analyst slash, or then they have banking, they have investments, they have consulting. They put all those things in their heading. It doesn't mean that they're working in that field. It just shows that they are interested in those fields. So don't say that you're looking for job opportunities. You will not just sell yourself. You're not making yourself a saleable commodity. That field primarily talks about what you're doing right now. So if you're working right now, it's all right. You're good. You have a job. You're fine. But if you're looking for a job, you don't put out that. You put out what fields you want to work in. You can put consulting. You can put banking. If you're probably in medicine, you can put out that field. You can put anything you want, but you never put out looking for job opportunities under your name. It just weakens you guys. It just weakens you. I've tried it, and that's what I'm telling you. It just makes yourself a more saleable commodity. And at the end, as I said, it's all about perception you give to the people who are seeing your profile. So those were the 4 elements primarily I talked about in this video. There are a couple of them more, and I can say that these are the ones that I really think will actually help the employer to select your profile and probably go through it. If you just don't make that good impression, imagine guys, imagine two people, they have the same degree, they have the same qualifications. This guy doesn't have a profile image. This guy doesn't have a good summary. This guy doesn't have a good heading. This guy doesn't have a background image. Whereas this guy, if he has the same qualification and probably has 2 or 3 elements out of the 4 I said, who do you think the employer is going to see the profile of? It's of course this person. It's obvious, guys. In the world of this digital era, we just have to make ourselves more saleable. You might be even better than me. You might be better than someone else. But if you don't sell yourself, how do I know that you're even there? So you have to prove your existence, and at the same time, you have to prove yourself that you are something. So make yourself sellable. Work on your profile, the digital profile, and then once you start getting calls from the employers, you can probably send me a thank you note. Just kidding, guys. But yeah, that was my first video, guys, of the 4 elements. I hope you like it. My main intention is that if I am able to get something for myself, I just hope and I just wish that with the tools which I've used, I've gained some knowledge. I share with you guys so that it helps you make your profile better. If you like this video and you think you have your friends who are interested in this video, if you want some personal advice, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. As I said, my profile is down there. I'm not doing this video just to incentivize myself or monetize it, but it's at the same time just trying to help the people out there, like me myself. Just sharing information just helps you gain more information as well. And it's a 2-way platform. So guys, all the best. Subscribe the button if you like the video, share it, like it. Any suggestions or recommendations, hit it in the comment section. and I will come up with I think a next video in the next week. I'm thinking of putting out every video like every Saturday, I guess. That works out really well for me. So I work on the subject matter for a week, do some research, come up with the concrete material, and and on Saturday I make a video and probably may just share with you guys. So just focus on those four elements. After this video, just focus on those four elements, fill them up. It will, trust me, it will make your profile better. Just you will just see the engagement by yourself. I know some more tricks about LinkedIn in general about the hunting process, which I will share. So I will see you in the next video. And until then, guys, hang in there. Best of luck. Stay safe and take care of your family, take care of your friends, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.